If there is one thing that you can always rely on the Chinese government to do, it's regulate every single facet of the lives of its people, because that's what big governments do. That's their end game, to highly control the populace. And in this case, it's they're taking away your Fortnite, taking away your Fortnite, boys. China bans minors from playing video games on school days and limits the weekend hours. I don't know how the hell they're going to enforce this, but maybe the article explains. China is banning minors from playing online video games for more than 3 hours per week and prohibiting the practice altogether during school days. Because, you should be working for the great, glorious People's Republic of China. You shouldn't be wasting your time on such frivolous activities. Everything is for the state citizen. In an effort to fight addiction, gamers under the age of 18 will be allowed to play only during the hours of 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and official holidays, China's main state-run media agency Xinhua reported on Monday. The news is part of a broader crackdown on tech in the country and comes less than a month after Chinese state media slammed online games as spiritual opium, threatening to destroy a generation, sending shares of game makers plummeting. I mean, I think it's quite funny how all of these video game companies, especially like Blizzard and like Overwatch, with their Overwatch and all that, have cucked out so hard to China, cocked out so hard, like banning people from taking part in tournaments because they dared say something like Taiwan is a country, and and like this is what China does to them. Yeah, well, we're going to just absolutely annihilate a huge part of your user base anyway. I mean, that's what you get when you cock out to China. As part of the stringent rules revealed on Monday, online game companies will be required to register gamers using their real identifications, meaning that crafty kids and teens will not be able to evade the ban simply by creating new accounts under fake names. So that means you must submit your ID. Where's your gaming license? Like, that's what this is. You need to submit. Where is your license to play video games? State administrators will deal with companies that fail to put measures in place, and when the Chinese government says that, take heed that we will deal with companies, like they mean it in a very serious sense. Xinhua warned, citing a document from China's National Press and Publication Administration, it was not immediately clear when the rules will take effect. As part of a previous effort to combat video game addiction, China already imposed a much lighter cap on gaming hours in 2019. Under previous rules, gamers under the age of 18 were allowed to play for 90 minutes per day on weekdays and 3 hours per day on weekends and holidays. They were also blocked from playing between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. because China has complete absolute control over its internet. Basically, if they want to switch you off, they can switch you off. Monday's new rules, which cut minors' allowed gaming time from a maximum of 13.5 hours to just 3 hours most weeks, appear to have spooked investors. Yeah, if I was an investor right now, I would be dumping all my stock. New York traded shares of Chinese computer and mobile games developer NetEase were down 8.8% to $84.59 when US markets opened on Monday, while shares of more diversified tech giants Tencent fell 2.5% to $57.50. Yeah, Tencent cucked out so hard to China and they got fucking booty blasted anyway. China's stricter gaming regulations are part of the government's tighter stance towards tech that's also affecting social media, delivery, and rideshare companies. Earlier this month, I think I was supposed to say, the Chinese government took a board seat and stake in a China-based subsidiary of TikTok maker ByteDance, leading for calls from at least one US senator for TikTok to be banned because, like, all your data is getting sent to China. They have all your data. They know so much about you. Like, and data, like the way the internet's went, data is currency. Companies trade data and share data all the time. Whenever you tick that little yes, I agree to the terms and conditions, these companies can just sell your data. Like, data is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a massive industry. The country has also levied fines, hefty fines against tech giants like Alibaba in anti-monopoly cases. Yeah, but Alibaba's garbage. It's just another wish. And targeted Chinese companies looking to go public in the US, including ride-hailing app Didi and trucking tech firm Full Truck Alliance, with probes shortly after their IPOs because they dared try to be successful in the American market. However, it's really, really weird that China doesn't have to cuck out to us. China doesn't have to cuck out to us when they want to take part in our markets, but we always seem to have to do it with them because of their extremely strict and stringent government controls. Now, this happening in China, this is not a surprise in the slightest. Like everything that they do, like the way one all big powerful government always acts, is everything has to be in that government's interest. And if kids are spending all their time playing video games online, that means they're not working, they're not learning, they're not rising themselves, up higher and higher. And I'll admit, I have spent a good many hours myself playing computer games. I've sank a good few hours into Aliens Fire Team so far since it has come out. But that's my spare time to do with as I damn well please. And I think that should be the case for kids as well. And it's basically, I think it's up to the parents. It's not up to the government, it's up to the parents. If your kid is spending way too long playing video games, like, a few hours, a couple of hours a day or something like that, like whatever, that's fine. I used to do it to unwind after a really shitty day at school. But it's up to the parents. The parents should decide, they're playing video games too much, right? Go outside, kick a ball, read a book. We're going out today, like, do anything else. Like, it's up to the parents, it's not up to the government. But the problem is with all powerful governments, like what's happening here in Scotland and stuff like that, that's just the way things go. Your kids aren't your kids anymore, they're the government's kids, and the government will raise your kids for you, and it won't be to raise them to be good people like you're supposed to, it's to raise them to be obedient little citizens that benefit only the government, because in China, the only thing that matters is the government. But it's just like, remember when Britain tried to bring in the porn licenses? You had to submit your ID to look at porn and stuff like that. Like that was something that they brought in, and there was that much of a fucking upheaval that basically like one thing is very, very rare, it's so rare, is when the government says this is a thing that we are doing, and the overwhelming majority of people come out against it, for the government to actually back off. Like, you could have 99% of people in a country in Britain coming out against a law, and they were like, what happened in bloody Scotland? Like, it was maybe something like over 80% of people did not want the hate crime law, and the government went, yeah, well, we're going to do it anyway. None of you get to have a say. All the rich MPs and stuff like that, yeah, they get to have a say, but we don't. We never got to have a say, and now look at us, one of the most authoritarian nations in Europe. Thanks for that, SNP. But that's just what happens with governments. They will pass whatever law that they want. Now, I'll admit this law seems to be a little bit minor. However, if people want to play video games, it is their freedom to do that. Now, I am not saying that video games, playing video games all day, every day, and not doing anything else, that does cause harm. That does cause harm to children. I mean, yeah, video games have their benefits like logic and problem solving skills and all that type of stuff, but all day, every day, it does cause harm. Go outside, touch grass. But at the end of the day, it is up to the parents, and it should not be up to the government. But China gonna China.